Greetings. This is another Neville Goddard Exposed video. And anyone with common sense will realize that certain things just doesn't add up. For example, Neville stated that his brother was using his imagination and using visualization for 2 long years. And that was around 1920, right up to 1922. And he stated that his brother was actually seeing his family's name on that abandoned building, okay, on that particular building that would later become the established business that is all throughout the islands, even in my country. As a matter of fact, it is the biggest business in my country. Okay, now, common sense will teach you that there's no way that anyone can be visualizing for so long without knowing something. He must have had to know something concerning how the mind works. He must have known already the esoteric understanding and the psychological understanding and the metaphysical understanding of the Bible. So in short, what I'm trying to say to you, we never got coming up with this story about Abdullah and saying that it was a black man. As I stated earlier, Abd means servant, okay, or slave. And so he's attaching the story of a black man to that of being a servant or a slave. Okay, and Allah is actually the Muslim word that they use for God. Okay, so in the Muslim religion, they use the word Allah to represent God. And the pale man has always projected himself to be God in flesh. That's why they gave melanated people a white, blonde hair, blue eye boy to call their Lord and their God and their Savior. So they have always had an agenda. And so they chop you both from the exoteric side and also from the esoteric side. You see, on the esoteric side, they use what is known as self-development, motivational speaking, life coaching, and so on. Okay, they take it from that angle while hiding certain things from you. While on the exoteric, if you look deeply, you realize all the religious organizations, denominations that black people are following. They were first started by either a white man or a white woman. And they have been earning billions and billions of dollars from their scheme. That's why they're able to continue to keep you in economic slavery. But they would have kept you in mental slavery first using the fair game. And the reason why I'm mentioning melanated people, because there are few melanated people who my message will resonate with. But I have to definitely let you know that there are two kinds of black people. Those who are willing to sell out and those who are willing to stand for freedom. Okay, so there will always be those who will sell themselves short. They'll do anything for money. Okay, they will sell their own for money. And on the other side, the pale-skinned people, they're doing the same thing. They're sacrificing even their own children, even though they may give them certain opportunity or certain privilege. that privilege is keeping them being also brainwashed, thinking they have some form of superiority, okay? And it is keeping them in stupidity. That's why many of them, they are so racist. And the more racist white people are the most dumb ones, the ones who are more dumb and more ignorant. But those who are more aware, they more uh they more understand that we are actually one, and that we can either be God awake or God asleep. They are the ones who understand that God is within and that there's no sky God and no sky daddy. Okay? And they know that we are the sun people and they are the ice people. And they know that they only been given of their kind certain privilege. Okay? Because it is taking so long to wake them up. And they know many of them, they don't even have a soul. They are like living dead on this planet. Okay? They have no feeling, nothing. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, Neville and his family would have already known these secrets. And even Neville will speak about his father, how he used to be outside in that little rocking chair and in that little drowsy, sleepy state and so on. Okay? And as you know, as I said before, that Neville was actually a part of a certain brotherhood. Some people's trying to guess. They're trying to say, oh, the Masons and this and that. No, no, no. I know exactly, okay, which one he was involved in. And I remember quite vividly the white man who interviewed me, who had this channel called Awaken the Imagination. Okay, the last time I was trying to remember the name and I said Divine, but not Divine Imagination, that's someone else. Okay, that is some guy named Joseph Ally, something like that. Not him. Okay, this guy, his name was Tom. Okay, his channel was Awaken Imagination. And I remember he did an interview with me just to basically ask me one main question. Who Neville was speaking about when he said that Abdullah told him that the brothers told me that he was coming and that you were like 3 or 6 months late, something like that. Okay? I've always known. Okay? But I acted like I didn't know. I say, you know, the brothers were speaking about those who are like mine. Okay? But my brother and my sisters, there's always been a ruling class of people from since the dawn of time. And it have nothing to do with their complexion. Because as I stand before you, let me say this. It is not a coincidence that I could know all the things that I know now. And it was no coincidence that many, many years ago when I was a very, very, very little boy, I can remember that my mother and my grandmother and so on used to get certain letters telling them that there's certain riches that they're supposed to get and certain inheritance that they're supposed to get. And they could have tell them the name of the children, all the children in the family and so on. They used to get these letters, okay? They could tell you about the name of the children and everything, even when we're born and all of these things, they know. Okay, so we have certain rights to certain things, okay? So I'm saying I continue to do the things that I'm doing, okay, because I know that there are those who are withholding certain things, okay? If you give us what belongs to us, right now my mother is in her late 70s and so on, and I definitely want to have her to have certain experiences before she actually leave here, okay? And it is all right, okay? If you check out my surname wasn't a surname that just come like that. Okay, there's a lot of things I know and there's a lot of things I can go into. But Neville, okay, and the things that Neville say, are going to continue to expose them from left, right, and center. And there's so much. So I'm just taking this one concerning his brother, okay, who visualized from 1920 to 1922. Okay, so you can definitely do the same. But if you've been brainwashed for so much generation and you understand epigenetics, it's very hard for some people to get rid of the idol and to get rid of how their subconscious mind was programmed. Even the beating that Neville received while he was in school concerning the scripture, all of that is basically symbology. That's how your ancestors were whipped and beaten, okay, to be colonized, to have the religious and superstitious mentality, and to be living in mental slavery and poverty and being kept in economic slavery. That is why certain families continue to rule in these countries. Okay? You can see all the ruling families in Jamaica, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, all the islands in the Caribbean. Okay? Africa and wherever they place themselves, because from every angle, north, south, east, west, they have chops there. And we have to break all of these chops one by one. Okay? So as I mentioned earlier, let me just repeat what I said earlier, and then I'm going to come to a close. On the esoteric side of interpreting, like the Bible, they have certain things set there to chop you also. Okay? And on the exoteric, they have things there also to chop you. And then when it comes to the old plantation system, okay, they already have the school system to chop you. Okay? And they have also the governmental system to chop you. They have the police, they have the army. Okay, they have all of these things that they don't set in place to chop you. Okay? But you have to free yourself by starting with self-love and self-acceptance, and put no man on no pedestal. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, don't get caught up with the Neville Goddard hype. There's more, okay, for you to know than what he's telling you. And there's more exposing that must and will be done until many eyes will be open to see further truth. Okay? So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it really makes sense, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. And if you would like to learn my breathing method, which is the most ancient and most powerful breathing method, you can definitely reach out to me, and the link is down below also concerning my university, Free Thinkers and Seekers University. Okay, so you can book a one-on-one there with me and learn to use the sexual energy wisely and creatively by doing the honey breathing method to activate your solar plexus. Okay? Because I'm going to take you further and higher than where Neville would have taken you. Even further than where Ernest Holmes and all of these other people would have taken you. Further than where Wayne Dyer, all of these other people would have taken you. Okay? So, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. I'm here to help anyone who would request my help. So when Neville speak about an interview with Abdullah, I'm saying to you, don't look for no black mystic all the way in Ethiopia, or look for any black mystic who existed years ago. There's only now. Okay? Don't miss when a living black mystic is right in front of you. Okay? Don't make the dim the light. They're trying to shine Neville light, which is basically darkness. Okay? It is basically darkness. Because truth is pure 100%. It doesn't mix. Okay? With some truth here and then some lie there. It doesn't. Okay? So I'm saying to you, don't get caught up with a fake dream. Like, for example, they give people the American dream, and they tell America is the land of opportunity, when the land of opportunity is right between the two ears. That's what I'm basically like talking about. Okay, when I say to you that the ones who are to bring the light to you could be right in front of you, but they are diverting you from those who are presently in front of you, and they're having you looking backwards. Okay, so let me also say, if you like to get my books, that you must check out the link in the description down below also. And if you like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. I have a course there that's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously, and along with that is a bonus course on self-concept, and that is for people donating $20 or more. Also, if you like to book a one-on-one with me, you can drop me an email and we can set up a one-on-one. You can book me on an app called Faithia. Okay, it's a religious app, okay, with a lot of religious people there, but I take the opportunity to do one-on-one there. So if you want to book a one-on-one there with me, I'm also available. So let me just end by saying that always follow your intuition and let your intuition lead you and guide you when you check out all of the links that are down below. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.